I posted, when I was sitting on the plane calling out Omar on Twitter, somebody said, oh, they're just arresting people with tattoos. I said, well, let's clarify that. To get a tattoo, to earn a tattoo on MS-13, you had to kill or rape. So anybody with a tattoo is not some innocent kid that just who wanted to join. No, you had to commit a horrible act. So arresting someone with these tattoos that the government and the cops know, you have this tattoo, we know you've done something awful, that's fine by me. And again, fix all of these problems. You're a congresswoman.
Yeah, I got two. I look at it a lot of times numerically and look at the numbers here, right? So let's look at this arresting everybody with tattoo idea, right? If the arrests were not of the actual people doing the murdering and it was more random, then the murder rate would not have dropped down to towards zero. Right? So they are arresting the murderers, and it's reflected in the numbers of murders that are going towards zero. If they were just randomly rounding people up,
just anyone with a tattoo,
right,
whatever,
then they're going to miss a lot of the murderers because they're not actually pinpointing the actual murderers, and that murder rate would have come down, but it wouldn't have dropped down to near zero. Okay, number one. So obviously, they're putting the murderers in jail. Secondly, in cases where there's some contention about whether or not this person should be in jail, then they have some recourse. Their family members have been able to make an appeal, and they find out that this guy, it's not like there's not some formal appeal part. Right. Number one. Number two,
and to that point, real quick, of the 70,000 that were arrested, haven't been 5,000 or so been released because of this appeal process? Like they did find some that.
There have been some, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, or what the exact process is. As you point out, the crimes of the gangs here are hellacious and horrific. Of just having these guys murder and rape and behead family members in front of other family members. And they're doing it for nickels and dimes. When they bust these gangbangers in El Salvador, they find buckets of pennies and nickels. I mean, these guys are just low-grade thugs that they're shaking people down for loose change. They go on a bus and get everyone to give them a quarter. But they make $6 billion they were extracting from the economy. Now, here's the second number to look at. So President Bukele's popularity is 94%. So that means that, they put 75,000 gangbangers in jail. Each one of those people has a mother, has family, right? So the way to get to 94% is that the mothers of these gangbangers are voting for Bukele. They don't even want their sons out of jail, right? They're happy to see them in jail. They have these guys are the worst of the worst. That their own mothers, who breastfed them, pupusa infused lactation milk as a baby. Happy to see them in prison, right? No one's crying about this situation. Everyone is very pleased that these guys are off the street. And the peace dividend is enormous, right? So the GDP, the economy is growing. So after this election, and Bukele had 2 years or so, during COVID, where it's tough to manage that. That really gave, his time in office. He took him a year or two to get started, then he hit COVID. So he didn't have like a 5-year solid stretch to do everything he can do. Now he will. So we're going to see, I really believe GDP is going to double in the next 5 years. It's going to go from 28 billion, closer to 70 billion, or 60 billion, 65 billion. And, that's just going to have an enormous impact on everybody in the entire, that's everything, and all the opportunities are here. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you have any skill whatsoever, you can build a house, you can program a computer, you know how to teach surfing, anything you can do, come here and you can set up, get going, and ride the coattails of this phenomenal growth, right? This growth story. We have the passport program for $1 million. You can get a passport in 6 weeks. But I say, if you don't want to spend $1 million, just come here. For $90, you can get a 1-year residency. You renew it after 2 years, then you renew it again after 2 years. So after 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. And during those 5 years, the people who are paying $1 million to get their passport are throwing huge money into the economy, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, and you're reaping the benefit of those people. And you don't have to spend $1 million. You can spend $90. Get just build something, which you can do. You open a barber shop, cut hair. It's like it's wide open. You know, the building.
Come down and do a podcast. Come down and do a podcast.
You know, it's so. Anyway, the opportunities are fantastic, and.